Cake on the mic, cake on the mic, cake on the mic, cake on the mic. People, this the intro. Sacramento, California, born and raised. And Antelope is where I spend most of my days. Talk bad about my team, you must be a clown. This is Keek on the mic, so you know you better bear down. Bear down.
Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keek on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. Like always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you also follow me on all my social media platforms to stay connected with all Keek on the Mic news. So, Bears fans, a developing story within Hallis Hall right now is obviously the Chicago Bears are playing their final game at home of the season against the Minnesota Vikings. And there's been a lot of talk about, should Justin Fields play? Should he not? Obviously, Bears fans have been going back and forth. And obviously, I guess you could say there's incentives to both. Obviously, the people saying that Justin Fields should play are saying, well, he's only 64 yards away from breaking the single season rushing record, right? Or he needs to still develop as a passer. And then obviously, when you look at the more logical side and sitting Justin Fields, you're still playing for a draft pick, right? You're still hoping that he doesn't get hurt, right? So you're thinking about all those things on both sides, right? But obviously a developing story going on within Hallis Hall right now. And obviously Matt Eberflus mentioned it in his press conference is that him and Ryan Poles are actually discussing about actually sitting a couple of guys for the season finale, and that includes Justin Fields. These are the exact words that Matt Eberflus said in his press conference. Check this out, Bears fans.
Like I said, we're working on that on everybody, including Justin, and we're going to I'll visit with Ryan, the rest of the coaching staff, and the health of the football team, the entire health of the team. To me, is where we were 2 weeks ago is different than where we are now. So I think it's important that we evaluate that.
So, Bears fans, just like Coach Eberflus said in that clip in his press conference, that everything is on the table. And obviously, him and Ryan Poles are actually working through it right this moment. Obviously, there has been a no announcement about if Justin Fields will suit up for the season finale against the Minnesota Vikings at home. But obviously, there's every incentive to actually sit Justin Fields. I cannot believe I'm actually saying this, but obviously, it is the smarter choice. When you look at the situation, right? Obviously, Fields is nursing a lot of nagging injuries, right? That you don't want him to go in there and get banged up even more or even get more hurt, obviously, because it's all about the future at this point. The Bears are 3-13, right? And then also when you look at that, the offensive line has been absolutely terrible. The Bears offensive line is also banged up, and they've given up 15 sacks in the last 3 games, including 7 against the Detroit Lions. And I used to be on the side of things saying, you know what, just let Justin Fields play. He's a competitor. Let him go out there and try to compete. But at the same time, after watching the performance against the Detroit Lions, where that Bears offensive line gave up 7 sacks and Justin Fields was taking an absolute beating. And obviously, it's a topic for a different day, but obviously some of those sacks were on Justin Fields. But for the most part, Justin Fields had absolutely no time. So the more logical answer is Justin Fields needs to sit this final game, especially when you're considering more of, okay, we are playing for the number 1 overall pick. If the Houston Texans beat the Colts, which is a huge possibility, especially with the Colts starting Sam Ehlinger, and the Chicago Bears lose, which is even more of a possibility if Nathan Peterman starts, right? Especially with Minnesota getting blown out by Green Bay. So they have every incentive to come in here and absolutely destroy the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears can very well hold the number 1 overall pick. So there is so much on the line. So I can imagine Ryan Poles talking to Matt Eberflus and saying, you know what, we've seen everything we need to see to understand that Justin Fields deserves to be our starter for next year. And we know that he is our franchise guy. So why risk the future, right? I was even calling for him to take Justin Fields out during the Detroit Lions game. There was no reason for Justin Fields to be out there down 41-10, right? But obviously Justin Fields is a competitor. He begged to stay in, right? Blah, blah, blah. But that doesn't matter. You have to think about the future here. There is too much on the line. And I'm not just talking about the number 1 overall pick, Bears fans. I am talking about Justin Fields' health. The Minnesota Vikings are going to come to play. They are going to play their starters. They will come after Justin Fields. This offensive line has not been good. They have been getting absolutely demolished. And after that performance against the Detroit Lions, it makes my decision, if I was GM, very clear that Justin Fields, we have seen enough. It's time to put Justin Fields up and save him for next year. Because at the end of the day, that's what we're looking forward towards now, right? Is the future. We understand that Justin Fields is the future, and there's no reason to put Justin Fields out there and risk the future. And that's just my personal opinion. Before I let you guys go, let me ask you guys this. Do you think Justin Fields should play against the Minnesota Vikings, or do you think the Bears should sit Justin Fields for the season finale? Let me know down below in the comment section. And obviously, I'll keep you guys updated with any news that I hear, if Justin Fields will start or will he be benched or whatever happens. I'll make sure to have it here on Kick on the Mic. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, and make sure you share this episode of Kick on the Mic with every single Bears fan that you know. But other than that, back for all new Bears podcasts right here on Kick on the Mic. Thanks, guys, and bear down.
You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You can go and subscribe, cause I be on